Yeah, it's your boy Ray on the mic. Let's go.
Mic check, mic check. Welcome to On the Mic with Ray White, where we share life lessons, encourage self reflection, and equip you to take action. My name is Ray White, and I am juiced that you're taking time to listen to this episode today. If you listen to this episode real time, we have reached the end of 2022, which is a wild thing to think about. I mean, every year is wild to think that we've ended a year, but whatever. It's just one of those colloquial things that you just kind of say to kind of keep the conversation going. But regardless, we have reached the end of 2022, and there is quite a bit to think about when it comes to recapping what we've experienced this past year and how that will then be the propeller for us to move forward into the new year 2023 as an example within this regard. And I there's many different directions I thought about taking this particular episode, um regarding what's going on with family, what's going on with work, what's going on with the podcast and creative space, how this speaking and consulting space is moving forward. Um, and I think to capture it all into one phrase, keep going. Keep going has been a common just phrase that I've been processing when it comes to the types of work and types of relationships and engagements that I'm wanting to have in 2022. As I've been stepping more into who I am as an individual, these gifts, these uh, experiences, the dreams that I have, truly just stepping into these things as somebody who is like, I'm learning, I'm growing, I want to step into this, but none of these things are going to be easy. Um, but the common phrase of just keep going has been prominent in stepping into these spaces. So as I process like myself as a husband and father, you know, being a man who wants to be emotionally available for their wife and kids, that is not a one and done thing. It's a everyday thing. 365 days, if you look within a year, to be that type of a person. So showing up as somebody who is readily available to respond to any type of decisions that are going on in the household, any types of joys or pains or excitement or sorrows, whatever that looks like, being available to show up in those spaces are truly important. Um, and you got to keep going with those types of things. And those days where you think that you should be emotionally available and you're not, you got to keep going. And you got to keep showing up and being intentional about the type of person that you want to show up and be in those type of things. And I would hope that 2023 has been something that I know on the back of my mind, being more intentional about showing up in that space for my family, that I was able to do that. And there's always room to grow, but I know I can do it more as I look to 2023. So just keep going as being an intentional husband and father in those spaces, right? Keep going in the work that I'm doing with the type of opportunities that I've been receiving. Like I made a comment early in 2022 that I wanted to step more further into being that voice, or being one of the voices that is leading culture change and talking about creating a belonging culture, talk about how to facilitate conversations that are related to the social tensions that we're experiencing, and step in more into that kind of space. And honestly, that has transpired in ways that I never even thought that could occur. I'm have been consulting with a few organizations locally in my city of Salem. I've been able to speak at other entities across the nation, this being on different platforms, talking about what does it look like to be an advocate in this space. I've been able to be at tables with decision makers and help craft what their culture can look like through their policies, procedures, values, missions, and create more belonging and inclusive language that incorporates the type of uh, people that are represented in our community, and then help push that forward as a part of a fabric of the organization through facilitation conversations, trainings, uh, teachings, coaching, what have you, like these different types of things that if I was to look at even 2021 Ray, right? Like 2020 Ray, where I was like, I have this type of inkling in me to be this type of person, but I haven't, but I feel so much either imposter syndrome, anxiety, lack of experience, exposure to step into spaces. But again, if we look at all the greats, they all had to start somewhere. And we all have greatness within us that we, as ready to be unleashed, if we keep taking a step forward towards what that greatness looks like for all of us. So I have been able to take those steps forward, not having it all figured out, being able to be comfortable in the mess, and being able to say, you know what, it's okay that it's not at a point where I want it to be, but it is a step in the right direction where I want to go. And I'm super excited for more of those opportunities and continue to strengthen that voice in this particular space to be a culture change agent in my community and help collaborate and create opportunities for other people to be culture change agents within their spaces to create inclusive communities where every identity belongs and thrives. The keep going mindset even comes further when I talk about the book that I'm writing, the advocacy in action, something that I wrote a while ago, but knowing that it's not at a point where I wanted to be, I was able to bring in voices in my community to speak into the words that I'm trying to write on paper to help make it concrete and make it make sense. So I'm so appreciative of my family and friends who have read the book, who have engaged in the book, who have put their 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 cents into it, right? To help enhance it and make it better, because this book is at first was something a little bit more personal, right? Like this is me putting words on paper that I am very very conscientious about, right? Like I'm just like don't really feel comfortable writing, but foregoing that level of feelings to offer create space for people to say, hey, like speak into this is not about me, this is about the work and what the work can do for other people in the community, has transformed the way in which that I uh, opened up about this book. So I'm really grateful for the people who speaking into it and excited to get that published soon. 2023, that's gonna be published. I already said I was gonna publish it this year, but it's okay to take a step back and make sure it's right and every word has a place and it makes most sense. So I want to get this one right, being my first book and ready for the next one. So I'm excited for that. We're keep moving forward with this content game. If y'all haven't listened to it yet, feel free to go back a few episodes and listen to like the how to avoid the content funk episode that I created, because there have been definite seasons where I felt this great funk of creating content, and I think a lot of that was centered on just even my own identity. And if I was to remove that and just kind of look at what I'm currently doing and what's going well, and how can I capture those thoughts into words, we would find that, this is some good content. Content is good. And content is what you make it. And sure, you could look like all the gurus out there, but honestly, like, if you keep being diligent at what you're creating and how that creation is helping other people, like the tweaks and improvements are going to happen. So don't get so caught up on having it being perfect day one, but create the level of excellence that makes sense for you within the space that you are creating in, and strive for that every day, and continue to get better every day. So I'm hype that just through the content that I've created, I've made some tweaks and changes, even how I record, what I record, how I say it, what I say, making thumbnails, equipping or bringing in other people and other voices to help create in this space and creating SOPs that would keep me in my zone of genius and also enhance other people in their zone of genius within this mission that we're all called to do. Like, you don't learn that other than just keep going, right? You keep moving forward. So it's exciting, and I don't have a word for 2023. I never really do. I think as you've hopefully heard through the podcast and various episodes, I'm pretty reflective and I like to see how the dots all connect after a certain point. And so I'm excited just that I've reached this point of 2022, looking back and seeing all the dots connect of the initiatives and efforts that I've taken steps forward in, the people who have come into my life and spoken into my identity and the work that I'm doing, and even the work itself, and seeing it manifest in a way that was something that was just a dream a couple years ago and now it's become a reality, all because you kept moving forward, you kept taking next step, you kept going, navigating the personal struggles of identity and imposter syndrome, navigating the feeling that we're not adequate or not have enough to be able to do the work that's supposed to do, navigating this sense of feeling inexperienced and to be the guy to help navigate the other leaders who have years of experience on me to create this culture change they would like to seek. Looking at other people and gurus and individuals who are further along in the progress and thinking that I'm never going to be that, right? Navigating my own funk. There was a lot to navigate, and we'll constantly navigate through the tensions that will hold us back and become barriers for us to achieve greatness. And what I hope that in that sense of feeling in the valley, that you have community, you recognize, who you are, right? And then you create a framework or a process to help you through those seasons and sustain you through those seasons, so that way you don't fall off and you don't have a major gap that, if you would just work through it, could help accelerate your growth in a rapid fashion. So just gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep moving forward. And that's what 2022 definitely taught me a little bit of. And with that same level of energy, excited to see how that will manifest itself in 2023. So I would love to hear from you all. What has 2022 taught you? What have you learned within the last year, and how has that helped shape the way that you see life today and what you hope to do moving forward in the future? Please drop that note in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can follow me at Ray Devante on all social media platforms. We're pretty active on Instagram and Twitter as well, so you feel free to write your thoughts there. What 2022 what 2022 has meant to you, and what have you learned? What are some experiences that you hope to carry forward into 2023, and how can we just continue to be collaborative in that space and work together in those opportunities? Because people need us to show up. You need you to show up, and there will be tremendous growth and tremendous success if you keep moving forward. So follow me on all social media platforms at Ray Devante. Continue to share your story with others, and I will talk to y'all soon. Peace.